Hiya. In this video I'll share the sketching out of the Inktober 2023 prompt day 7 trip from initial squiggles to the final design. The inking process can be seen in a video which is linked here. It will be almost purely sketching, but in the beginning I'll give you some insight to the context of the drawing and some of the thoughts that I have about the choices I make, rounding off the video with some final evaluation. So the context of this sketch. From previous experiences with Inktober, I've found literature to be a great source of inspiration doing my prompts. So I've found scenes where I then found an association to the particular prompt. In this case, this year, I'm currently reading the science fiction novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by French author Jules Verne. Sorry for not trying to pronounce that in French if any people from France are watching. So where is this prompt trip seen in this book, you might ask? I don't suppose this could be seen as a spoiler for anyone, but the book deals mainly with the travel, because we follow this mysterious submarine that kind of travels the wide ocean. But as I've only read 20 pages of this book, I saw another scene that could be inspiration for the prompt trip. This is one of the first scenes where our protagonist, Professor Pierre Arnaud, is in his apartment with his PA, Conseil. That's his name. And the professor receives a letter that calls him to help investigate a mysterious creature seen. And right away, he gets his luggage packed and is ready to go. And this is what Conseil, his personal assistant, helps him with. This will be the ground for my sketching out and inking this illustration here. A scrap piece of paper with some charcoal marks and a brown tone paper. What am I doing with these pieces? This is an example of how I sometimes work when I feel a bit anxious or rusty about a drawing, which I felt at this one. I had a scene in mind, but I wanted to kind of shake that rust off, and this is what I sometimes do. I get some paper that's trashy, some paper that has some marks on it, and then I try to inspire myself in terms of composition or movement. So here, for instance, I see a way of building up a composition without going into any figures or characters just yet. And it's just like fishing, I try to take out a line and see if any bait will come. And just a few pencils mark, and maybe I can see some figure that kind of evolves out from some of the marks. For instance, here I start sketching out the character of Conseil. I get the idea that he could be, this big, tall, broad-shouldered guy, because he's described as being strong as a horse. So already here, a few seeds are being laid in the ground, so to speak. But I try to keep myself open for ideas and just in general be open to inspiration. My hands don't show, but this is a bit of a frustrating process where it's hard to be in. You just gotta keep at it and just be open, and nothing is settled yet. I begin making some thumbnails for a composition, and I get the idea that this professor could sit in a chair while Conseil, the personal assistant, is kind of waiting with the luggage. Then I switch to start drawing some details, some objects that could be a part of this illustration here. So the luggage, for instance, a chair. And during this sketch, I also come up with the idea that, based on the idea that, or the fact that this book is from the 19th century, that it could be, that the objects could be from the period of Art Nouveau, which, as you know, was design movement in France in and other places around the world also, but mostly known for France. So I start to play around with what about if the objects were kind of in this Art Nouveau style. This is an art style that I really like. It has some very beautiful swirling figures that could inspire. And I have already been delving down in this period a bit when I studied Harry Clarke, so I kind of saw a way for me to use that in a way, or kind of explore that theme or that design further. So here in this composition I have the professor seated and I have Conseil standing. Now I won't be talking more, I'll give you some space to just enjoy the sketching and just I'll let the pencil talk. And I'll see you at the end of this video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this was a really tough one. I don't know why it was such a tough one. That's just how it is sometimes, I guess. The professor, I struggle so much with this character. But as you can tell from the last drawing, what I really changed was making his face looking more at the letter. So I added more forehead to his face actually. And I think that kind of, that was what I was missing in terms of anatomy. He's a bit stiff. I would have wanted him to be more movable, but then again, I have to move on. I have to finish. And as you can see in the final drawing, you can see what I ended up with. You can see a narwhal tooth has been added in the top of the drawing to kind of illustrate that thing that the professor is a marine biologist professor. His suitcase has been added. We have a lamp in the entrance, a door in the entrance, a carpet in Art Deco style. What else? I added his hand is a bit adjusted, his arm and his hat, because the hat in perspective was off. So all in all, I'm very happy with the way it looks now. I might just do one last detail on the professor's suit, because I have a sketch where the suit is more art nouveau-ish. And then that's all. Thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun to do. It's also very challenging, but so much fun. And I would like to make a comic about this book of Jules Verne. It will probably take me 10 years, but you're allowed to dream, aren't you? So yeah, thanks for watching and have a good one.